The median American aged 55 to 64, the group standing at the doorstep of retirement, has $185,000 saved. Fidelity says you need roughly 10 times your final salary by age 67 on a $75,000 income that is $750,000. The median American on the doorstep of retirement has less than 25 cents of every dollar they need. In the next 8 minutes, you're going to understand exactly why this gap exists, what the specific benchmarks are at every age, and the 4 concrete actions that can meaningfully change your retirement trajectory starting this week. This is The Vault Keeper. Let me start with the honest numbers, because most people have never seen them presented clearly in one place. According to the Federal Reserve Survey of Consumer Finances and Vanguard's 2024 How America Saves report, here is where the median American actually stands by age group. By age 35, the median retirement savings is approximately $13,000. The Fidelity benchmark says you should have 1 times your annual salary, approximately $75,000 on a median income. The median American at 35 has 17 cents of every dollar they need. By age 45, the median is approximately $40,000. The benchmark says 3 times salary, approximately $225,000. The median American at 45 has 18 cents of every dollar they need. By age 55, the median is approximately $134,000. The benchmark says 6 times salary, approximately $450,000. The median American at 55 has 30 cents of every dollar they need. By age 65, the median is approximately $185,000. The benchmark says 10 times salary, approximately $750,000. The median American at the doorstep of retirement has 25 cents of every dollar they need, and 28% of Americans have nothing saved at all. 0. These are not opinions. These are documented figures from the Federal Reserve and Vanguard, and the gap between where the median American actually is and where they need to be is the defining financial challenge for households in their 30s, 40s, and 50s right now. Now here is what this gap looks like in practical terms. A common retirement income target for a median American household is approximately 70 to 80% of pre-retirement income. On a $75,000 pre-retirement income, that means approximately $5,500 to $60,000 per year needed in retirement. The average Social Security benefit in 2026 is approximately $1,176 per month, $23,712 per year. A household with $185,000 saved, withdrawing at the standard 4% rate, generates approximately $7,400 per year. Combined with Social Security, that household has approximately $31,000 per year, against a need of $50,500. That is an annual shortfall of approximately $21,500 every year for every year of retirement. That shortfall is not destitution, it is not catastrophe, but it is a persistent year-after-year squeeze that forces real trade-offs. Skipping healthcare, moving to cheaper areas, relying on family, working well past intended retirement age. That is the lived experience of the retirement gap for the median American household. Now let me show you the 3 reasons most Americans fall behind on retirement savings, because understanding the cause is the foundation of fixing it. Reason 1. The 401k system only works if you actively engage with it. About 62% of Americans agree they could work until retirement and still fail to save enough money to comfortably meet basic future needs, according to a Transamerica national survey published in April 2026. And fewer than 1 in 4 Americans, just 23%, currently maintain a written retirement plan. The 401k replaced the traditional pension as the dominant retirement vehicle over the past 50 years. Pensions were collective guaranteed payments funded and managed by employers. The 401k transferred both the responsibility and the risk to the individual employee, You decide how much to contribute. You decide how to invest. You bear the consequences of the decisions you make and of the decisions you fail to make. The result is a system where passive behavior produces poor outcomes. The employee who enrolls in the default contribution rate, often 3%, and never increases it. The employee who leaves the employer match on the table because they do not understand how it works. The employee who keeps their allocation in whatever the plan defaulted to when they enrolled. These are not unusual behaviors. They are the most common behaviors, and they produce retirement balances that are a fraction of what the same consistent behavior could have generated with a few deliberate adjustments. A record 4.8% of 401k participants took hardship withdrawals last year, according to Vanguard's 2025 report, nearly doubling the 2.8% rate recorded just 5 years earlier. Housing costs and medical expenses are the two leading drivers. When the cost of living consumes the margin that should be going toward retirement, the retirement account becomes an emergency fund of last resort. Every dollar withdrawn early not only removes the principal, but eliminates all the future compounding that dollar would have generated. Reason 2. Most Americans do not know their actual retirement number. Americans say they need roughly $1.5 million to retire comfortably according to survey data. But the same surveys show that most Americans have no specific plan for reaching that number. Knowing the destination without a roadmap produces anxiety, but not progress. Here is the framework that makes the number concrete and actionable. The Fidelity benchmark is the most widely used and the simplest to apply. Save 1 times your annual salary by 30, 3 times by 40, 6 times by 50, 8 times by 60, 10 times by 67. On a $75,000 salary, that means approximately $75,000 saved by 30, $225,000 by 40, $450,000 by 50, $600,000 by 60, and $750,000 by retirement. Most Americans fall well short of these benchmarks at every age. But knowing where you are versus where you should be is the first step to closing the gap. You cannot close a gap you have not measured. Reason 3. The tax advantages of retirement accounts are massively underused. The 2026 401k contribution limit is $24,500, up $1,000 from 2025. The Roth IRA contribution limit is $7,500, with an additional $1,100 catch-up for those over 50. The Health Savings Account family contribution limit is $8,750, with a $1,000 catch-up for those 55 and older. Combined, these 3 accounts allow a household to shelter approximately $48,000 per year from taxation. Only 14% of Vanguard plan participants saved the statutory maximum amount in their 401k last year. The vast majority of Americans are leaving significant tax advantages unused every year, and the cost of those unused tax advantages compounds over decades. Now let me give you the 4 specific actions that can meaningfully change your retirement trajectory in priority order, with specific numbers attached to each one. Action 1. Know exactly where you stand today. Before any other action, calculate your current retirement savings across every account: 401k, Roth IRA, traditional IRA, old 401ks from previous employers you may have forgotten about, taxable investment accounts, everything. Compare that total to the Fidelity benchmark for your age. The math is simple. Multiply your current annual salary by the benchmark multiplier for your age. If your total savings are below that number, you have a gap. If they are above it, you are ahead. Either way, knowing the specific number changes your relationship with the goal from abstract anxiety to a concrete, measurable problem with a specific dollar target. Personal Capital, the free financial dashboard in the description below, connects to all of your retirement accounts in one place and shows your projected retirement income against your retirement goals. It identifies the gap in dollar terms and shows what contribution rate closes it. This kind of clarity is what most Americans never have. And the absence of clarity is one of the primary reasons most Americans stay behind. Action 2. Capture your full employer 401k match immediately. An estimated 1 in 4 workers leave their employer match on the table. That match is the single highest guaranteed return in personal finance. If your employer matches 50% of contributions up to 6% of your salary, and you're not contributing at least 6%, you are voluntarily taking a pay cut. There is no investment available to ordinary Americans that offers a guaranteed 50% to 100% return on day one. Capturing the full match, starting with your next paycheck, is the highest return single action available to most American households. Action 3. Open a Roth IRA and start contributing outside of your workplace plan. After capturing the full employer match, the next priority is the Roth IRA. The 2026 contribution limit is $7,500 per person, $8,500 for those 50 and older. The Roth IRA has 2 advantages over the traditional 401k that most Americans undervalue. First, tax-free growth and tax-free withdrawals in retirement. Every dollar of growth, every dividend, every capital gain compounds without any annual tax drag. When you withdraw in retirement, every dollar comes out tax-free. On a $7,500 annual contribution growing at 7% for 30 years. The tax-free advantage over a taxable account is approximately $350,000. Second, flexibility. Roth IRA contributions, not growth, just contributions, can be withdrawn at any age without penalty or taxes. This makes the Roth IRA a dual-purpose account. Primary retirement savings vehicle, secondary emergency fund if truly needed. That flexibility has real value in a world where unexpected expenses are inevitable. Action 4. Diversify across multiple account types as your income grows. A common mistake once income crosses 6 figures is concentrating all retirement savings in a single 401k account. A financial expert quoted in The Street this week called this the one-account trap. Concentrating in a single account strips away the ability to manage taxes in retirement, pull from different accounts in different situations, and optimize growth beyond what the employer plan offers. The optimal structure at higher income levels uses 3 separate buckets: pre-tax accounts, traditional 401k and traditional IRA for current tax deductions, Roth accounts for tax-free growth and withdrawals, and a health savings account, which experts describe as a Roth on steroids because of its triple tax advantage. Deduction going in, tax-free growth, tax-free withdrawals for qualified medical expenses. The 2026 family HSA contribution limit is $8,750. Money contributed to an HSA can be invested in low-cost index funds inside the account. If you never use it for medical expenses, it functions as a second Roth IRA in retirement. If you do use it for medical expenses, which virtually every retiree will, it is the most tax-efficient way to pay for healthcare costs that represent one of the largest expenses in retirement. Now let me give you the honest context. About 62% of Americans agree they could work until retirement and still fail to save enough, according to the Transamerica survey. That number reflects real structural pressures. Housing costs consuming 40% or more of median income. Medical expenses, student loan payments, the cost of living growth that has outpaced wage growth for years. These pressures are real, and they are not solved by simply telling people to save more. But here is what the data also shows. Households with a written retirement plan report significantly greater confidence and are more likely to save consistently. Only 23% of Americans currently have one. The households that know their specific retirement number, capture their full employer match, contribute to a Roth IRA, and review their retirement plan annually are not necessarily higher earners. They are households that made specific, deliberate decisions that most American households have never made, because nobody laid out the sequence clearly. That is what the Vault Keeper is for. Here is your complete action plan. First, calculate your current total retirement savings across every account. Compare it to the Fidelity benchmark for your age. Know your gap in specific dollars. Second, increase your 401k contribution to at least capture your full employer match, starting with your next paycheck. Third, open a Roth IRA if you do not have one, and set up an automatic monthly contribution. Even $100 per month starts the compounding clock. Fourth, if you are on a high-deductible health plan, open an HSA and contribute the maximum annually. Invest those funds in a low-cost index fund inside the account. Fifth, review this plan annually. Increase contribution rates by 1% every time your income increases. The compounding effect of consistent small increases over decades is where retirement security is actually built. None of this requires predicting the market. None requires timing decisions. None requires a financial advisor. It requires clarity about where you stand and a sequence of specific decisions made once and automated going forward.